Hello everybody, I'm Gabriel Santiago. I'm from Brazil. I play the guitars and I'm a composer, and I am living here in Denver for a couple of years now, and it's such a pleasure to be here at the show with Henry, and we're going to talk a little bit about my career, the things I'm doing, and especially about the great show I have coming up this Saturday with my big band, the Jazz Orchestra, Gabriel Santiago Orchestra. We play at Dazzle Jazz Club this Saturday at 6:30 p.m. We're going to talk a little bit about that. It's a pleasure to be here talking to you all. Oh, also, if you want to know about my music, you can go to GabrielSantiagoProject.com and you'll find everything there, and I'm around the internet everywhere, Instagram, Facebook. You'll find me for sure. Pleasure to be here again talking to you all.
Ooh, it's a pleasure to be here with you, Gabriel. And now we got it all set up so you can see we're already on. I'm in the picture again.
Yes.
So it's nice to see you here, brother.
Yeah,
that's
pleasure,
cool.
pleasure to meet
you. Know, we've got some really good stuff here today, and it's a pleasure to have Mr. Gabriel Santiago in the studio with us.
Hey, pleasure.
Yes,
Pleasure being here.
It's really nice, and we're going to get to hear him play because he brought his guitar with him.
I did.
So you're going to hear what it's really going to sound like. It's going to be live and in living color. I like to use that in living color. And then I always use locked and loaded. So from there, we're going to start talking to Gabriel and see what he's got to say. Of course, I always go up close and personal and pull out all the tea. You know, that's what they say. Pull out the tea, what he's got to say, you know. So Gabriel, you know, you started at what age?
I started playing when I was 8 years old, which is a long time now, 1989.
That is well, you say 89, that was just the other day. It's a long time ago, isn't it?
It is, it is. I'm from a small town in northeast Brazil, and my father is a musician as well. He plays guitars, and my mom played the piano, so music was always around the house, and he never forced me to learn. His guitars were always there. I had a small guitar he bought for me, and then suddenly one day I said, hey, I want to learn this, and he self-taught. And he had a friend who was classically trained. So I got to study with this guy.
Wow.
This is going to teach you the way you should. You know, he wants something that he didn't have access to. So I started playing at that time when I was 8 or 9.
And taught by a quality professional, right?
Yeah. A friend of my father became a friend. His name was, he passed away already. Fortunately, his name is Leto Nicolau. He's the guy who started it all for me.
All the way from Brazil. Right? So tell me, did you let everybody know in Brazil, because we can bring up Brazil here? It's like
I did.
over Brazil. So.
I did. See, there's another Brazilian right there.
Did you see it?
Another one.
They're logging in.
My people don't fail me. See, they're here.
Right away, because that's what's cool about this. Huh?
It is awesome.
It's the kind of softwares that we use in here are so cool. It's like, it's so technical nowadays.
Yes.
You can really do some incredible stuff with them.
You can.
With all the, I mean, phones. They call them phones. They're not phones. They're high-tech computers.
Exactly.
And that's what they are.
Isn't it a phone anymore?
It's a phone with phone capability.
Yep.
Everybody texts.
Yep.
How many texts you get a day? 100. It's like your phone, your fingers like this big now. It's all strong.
Yeah. You can do so much. You can message stuff. Or you can film, and you can stream. You can edit video.
Yes.
How crazy is that?
You can set it to drive your car and everything. That's what I'm telling you. You think I'm lying to you? That's real. You can do that.
You pay. You open doors.
You
all kinds of stuff.
I know, that's right. You pay.
It's crazy.
Doors.
Yeah.
It's always pay. It's like, use my Apple Pay. And I was just talking to you about that. Somebody's sending me these things. You know, somebody's getting into your Apple Pay.
Gotta watch out for the scammers, man.
Call tech support. Sure, tech support.
Yeah.
They made a critical mistake when I called them. They said, this is Facebook support. I go, oops, you made a boo-boo, didn't you?
They did, man. They're out there. They also latch on the technology as we are for the good, but there's some,
trying to make
weird creeps right there, man. Watch out.
And that's interesting. So from there, I mean, you were doing all kinds of cool things in Brazil. How long did you stay in Brazil doing this?
Yeah, I moved to Rio de Janeiro when I was
Rio
17.
De Janeiro. Oh.
Yeah, I lived 10 years in Rio.
There's a good side to Rio, and then there's this rough side to Rio, right?
There's a little bit. You gotta know where you are. Rio is such a magical place.
Did you like the Jesus up
Oh,
on
the Christ the Redeemer. Yeah,
Yes.
I lived very close to it. I
No,
used to
so
see
did
it
you
from the
really? You
window.
can see it real good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's beautiful.
Mhm.
Really, is a beautiful mix of mountain and sea and city. It's such a, recommend everybody to visit
Did you go?
with caution.
And I know he was at the festival. Watch, see, watch. Here
Oh,
we
the
go.
carnival.
Carnival, excuse me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, many times, yeah.
See?
They had the big parades and
Mhm.
the samba school. It's such a magical place to, it just embrace culture. It's a really rich
Mhm.
country and city in this case. Um, yeah, I went to school there. I went to the university.
Wow,
And
that's
in Rio,
nice.
I study music. It's my main background. I do.
So you got taught all this stuff as you were younger, and then went to university.
And then
and
kept learning.
got
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
So
Why?
there's never an end to learning. That's what's cool about it.
No, and music is such a wonderful thing. It's a never-ending thing. Like it's the ceiling getting higher when you get to a place. Oh, you kind of like look and then you see how much of a sea of stuff you've never looked at. Oh, okay, so now it's like 10 years more to get this thing. Yeah, so I went to school there. I did the undergrad there in music, and I did a master's degree there
Whoa.
in musicology. And then it was my long-term plan to come to the United States, which I did. I won a Fulbright grant,
Uh-huh.
and I came to do a doctorate degree in composition at the
Wow,
University
nice.
of Texas at Austin.
Wow. How
And
nice.
that's a bunch of other magic stuff happening, including this ensemble that we're gonna
Yeah.
talk about today. And I lived
And then
there
you also
for-
teach.
I do teach
You
a
have a
lot.
full teaching,
I
well,
do
part-time,
teach,
but.
yeah, I do teach currently in 5 universities.
Wow,
So
nice.
that's just saying these words is crazy already,
Yes.
right? I teach Colorado State University, Fort
Mhm.
Collins. I teach University of Denver.
Mhm.
I teach University of Wyoming.
Nice,
in
you have to go
Laramie.
drive up there, but it's nice in the summer.
It's nice.
Mhm.
It's the mountains, the 270 or 280
Yes,
that I rode
up
there.
there. Mhm.
Just start teaching at UNC now, Northern
Nice,
Colorado,
yes.
and I still teach in Texas, in Houston, where I used to teach. I have
Yeah.
an online class now. They ask me to.
And how do you stay up with it? Gabriel, you're like doing a lot.
Man, I am. I just can't.
But you look for the opportunities and you go after them and
I
don't
do.
stop. Yeah.
Yes. I have clear goals, and I just gotta get organized. It's all about time management, right?
That's exactly right. And sometimes you have to even extend it into your sleep time. Sometimes
Yes.
you gotta go up late and get up early.
Definitely.
And-
That's
and
been
sometimes-
happening a lot this last couple weeks.
But it's good for you because it makes you feel good that you're really
It
doing
is, man.
a lot of things.
And you know what? Another interesting thing is that a few things that I was kind of putting off and not doing it and kind of procrastinating. In my busiest time ever, which is this past month, I got all this stuff done.
Right.
It was the busiest.
Yes.
To kind of put them, like cue them in into
Yes,
the
and
whatever
get
I
it
have to
done
do and get
each-
it done. Yeah.
Little by little, you were getting it all done.
Yeah.
Now, behind us, we have you playing with the
Yep.
big orchestra there.
Yeah, that's the Gabriel Santiago Orchestra.
Jesus.
And it's something I am passionate about and proud of. This is a sort of a byproduct of my time at the University of Texas.
Nice.
I was a doctoral student in composition, so I had to compose a lot of music. Right? Naturally, I gravitate towards jazz, which is more kind of my cup of tea,
Yes.
as opposed to classical music.
Right.
And I had to compose a lot of music. So slowly during my time there, I got a big portfolio
Oh,
of
nice.
compositions because I had to
Get it together for
compose
your,
a lot for the
you work on
recitals.
your doctoral.
And
you have to
and
have it ready for your dissertation if you're going to do that.
that was a separate thing. Like we had concert with the jazz orchestra every semester.
Oh,
I had like
nice.
2 concerts, so 2 pieces, and then I was writing, and then to the point that people like this music, and I start playing Austin with my quintet, and then we had an idea to bring the big band, and so basically I took the same big band from the school and put my name on it, which is
Mhm.
the same guys,
Yeah.
and then we kept playing, and then this was a performance at the Austin Jazz Festival
Wow,
that we
nice.
performed a beautiful hillside theater.
How many
We had-
pieces? I couldn't quite tell how many pieces are in that.
That
system.
performance has, I think, 4 or 5 because the pieces are long.
Yes.
I write a lot.
Oh, okay. So, but they're not real long in terms of the pieces that you put in there. They're about how long with each piece?
This particular one now that we're seeing is called Poupée. This one is around 17 to
17
20
minutes, yes.
Yeah. because those are large form
And
competitions.
so you orchestrate, you put the
Everything.
orchestration and everything together, so you.
All
And everybody understood, and there was, of course, there's gonna be a few mess ups, even after rehearsal. You still do the
Yes. Yes, we did that.
You kinda like try to.
Yeah. So this was one of the performances we did, and I put together this package for this DVD and CD. We did a concert at a really nice church in Austin.
Ooh, nice. A
And
big
then
church? One of
A
those
big
great-
church, and
great
then
big
we
ones?
filmed the whole thing and
Mm.
recorded professionally, and that became the part of the CD, the concert
Nice,
live.
yes.
And that performance, and then there was a TV channel that called a show, the Infinity Hour Show,
Oh,
which
so
we
you were
also
on that one.
performed. So the DVD is a DVD CD package, so it's 3 performances of this band in this package,
Oh, nice.
which you can get at GabrielSantiagoProject.com.
Nice. A little slower. You gotta write it down.
GabrielSantiagoProject.com.
There we go.
You can get the DVD physically, the download if you want. It's also all over internet, it's Spotify and everything. I'm trying to like make myself present everywhere online. You know, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook and even like that weird TikTok thing that I don't understand. I'm there too.
You know, yeah, that's why I said we got kicked off of TikTok, of all places. But we were big. I mean, we were doing 125,000 people, and
Oh, whoa.
it was huge. But some of the things that we say, and we have to be careful, but we can help ourselves. That's what brings the audience to us.
Exactly, man.
And it's like, why did they say that? You know, so
It keeps the conversation going.
it does, and so it keeps our name alive. That's why our name will be all over the place. You want to go check it out, you got to go there. You know.
You're omnipresent.
Yes,
right?
that's right.
Everywhere.
And I like that word because it's true. It's like, you know, we're not quasi-governmental or nothing, not all these pieces. We are not governed by the
Yeah.
government. And that's what, it's kind of hard for them because we're independent, in a big independent station. And a lot of the local stations do come here and
Mhm.
they pick up stuff that we have that they don't have, they let us catch that.
Yeah.
And it's nice, and so this right here is good because you're gonna be at Dazzle, this.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, coming up to these days.
How are you gonna fit everybody on stage? It's a good sized stage, but it's, I mean,
It
you're gonna
is.
bring a big
Yeah,
group.
I'm bringing 18 people. Yeah. So that's always a challenge at Dazzle. The current version of Dazzle is very, it's nice,
Elongated,
it's nice
yeah.
size, but it's wide.
Yeah, it's elongated.
But not very deep at this stage,
Yeah.
right? So we all usually do 4 big bands. We put the saxophone section in front.
Oh, so that way it.
Up from the stage, yeah.
Mhm.
And then you can fit everybody,
Mhm.
hopefully.
Hope-
Crossing my fingers. But I did play big band gigs that before, so it's gonna fit. And yeah, we have a show this Saturday. We play at 6:30 p.m.
Mhm.
and it's almost sold out.
Yes,
Uh,
well, that big of an orchestra because the sound that you put out is incredible. Just by a smaller piece like your 5-piece, your 4, even 2 pieces,
Mhm.
the sound that you put out with your the way you play is mind blowing. It's great. It's good stuff. You can also look at some of the YouTube videos, and you
Mhm.
want to catch some of his older stuff, and
Oh, yeah.
it's just incredible.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. My
Yeah, yeah.
YouTube channel, Gabriel Santiago. You can find not only that, but all my projects. I try to, keep busy, get my hands on different things.
Yes.
I have, right now, I mounted quite a bit of a different projects. So I go
Yeah.
from solo guitar, which I'll play today,
Yes,
to
yes.
a symphony.
And
you
that's
know?
what feels good. Sometimes when you're playing with the symphony and you can feel that big.
Oh,
It's like it's this
It's amazing.
feeling, yeah.
Yeah,
And then you get right in there and just.
It's amazing. It's the feeling for you all who are watching this and listening. The feeling of being inside, like an orchestra playing your music. It's undescribable. It's so I play this piece Poupée. So the symphony thing is an even larger ensemble than
Yes.
big band. It's a big band with strings and a lot of stuff. And playing.
I meant to ask you about the symphonies. Have you ever been with the symphonies?
Not yet,
I'd see
but-
like the Denver Symphony Orchestra, and I was thinking of that. I said,
Yeah.
he should get this 5-piece or 8-piece or even this big setup.
Yes, not yet, but it's coming.
That would
I'll
be
tell you.
in a park somewhere.
Oh,
Red Rocks.
Oh, that's my goal.
Yeah.
That's my dream,
Yes,
is to
yes.
perform with the symphony at Red Rocks.
Yes.
That's my ultimate
And
goal.
just tear it up all for 2-3 straight hours and 2 or 3 standing ovations. You know how that feels?
Well, a few times.
Yeah, that's why I know. I said,
You
you
know,
know how that feels.
a few handful times you get it, right? You get the people, you communicate the music. So
In Brazil, in some of the areas you've been, some of the audiences, which which area, the United States, there, where do you think some of the most receptive audiences have been for you, Gabriel?
I have, because now technology, right? So you can
Yeah.
actually look
I know.
online, who follows you, where is your audience, and things like that, right? So right now, I have a big draw in the United States. Of course, I've been here for almost like 16 years now. Brazil, of course, but there is a good, healthy population of fans in Japan.
Yes, that's what we find that interesting too. Now you do have a guy who used to be in Denver. He was an extremely good drummer. He went out to Japan, never came back, and he backs up all the big bands.
It's a wonderful country. I had the chance to go there a few years ago to play. Hopefully, I'm coming back next year. By the way,
They are just so receptive to good music.
They are to general music musicians. The art of being a musician is very respected there. I went there in 2018 for a tour with a good friend of mine, Brazilian singer Dani Gugel, was part of her band and her record. And while that tour was set up, I had my big band charts also there available for purchase. So I got some purchase from people in Japan buying these charts to play.
Because they knew you were there with your friend.
No, before that they knew from the internet.
Oh, okay.
So they bought these charts, and I keep seeing videos of them performing these songs in their big band in Japan. And then when they heard I was coming, they contacted me. And basically what happened on my day off from that tour, I did a big band concert myself.
On the day off of the tour, I bet you that was incredible.
Oh, it was amazing. It was
you better have documented it all.
I did.
There's
a few clips there.
Clips and some audio and stuff.
It was such a cool thing because they be following. It's like they contact me. I had to talk to the label and everything else, but I had a day off, and then I had a concert with their big band playing my music. So it was amazing. It was a really cool experience.
So what we're going to do, if you'd like, and we're going to do this for the audience on audio only through the radio portion, and then we have to turn it down so we don't have no feedback and stuff like that. Which song in here would you like?
From the CD?
Mm-hmm. This is the music you sent me.
That's the Alive DVD. That's the CD portion of that album. How about you play number 4? That's poupée. That's a French word.
Okay.
For doll.
Poupée.
Yeah, that's a pretty epic piece, like 15-minute one. So a lot happens in there.
So you're going to hear, if you want to go to our audio portion, and a lot of people have that capability, doing audio and video at the same time. But we're going to play this song for you, but we're going to turn down our audio on the radio portion and let you listen to this song. And so you'll hear it come on, and then we're going to go off of the radio, but you can still see us live. We'll still be talking, and it's no problem. And so here's how it sounds if you want to hear it. So you can hear it in the background, but the reason why we're going to have to shut it off on our live portion here, because even though Gabriel's here in our studio, we always get hit with copyright infringement. And he's sitting right here with me.
And I do get hit myself.
And you're the one.
Yeah.
I don't understand that, but it's because of AI or their bots that are just reaching out and looking for that.
Basically, if you have like a publishing thing set up, which I do.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's good because they're looking out for me, right?
Yes.
So sometimes I post a video on my YouTube channel and it has my own music, but the publisher checks, hey, that doesn't belong to you, it belongs to Gabriel because we represent Gabriel. So I just don't fight about it because it's coming to me at some point anyway. So, but
and we do the same. We sometimes we'll go ahead and fight it, and they say, and we put the reason why. Well, that artist was in our studio, and they let it continue.
Yeah.
But most of the time, like I was talking over it, so that way you can't say that it was part of it's something different.
You know the tricks already.
Yeah, I've been doing this so long.
Exactly.
And so this stream is being broadcast on 249 countries around the world. There may be 2 or 3, maybe 5 that come back and say that's not allowed. We see that too. With certain countries, certain things are not allowed. For what reason? Well, we go with it. Like you said, yes, it's not copyrights either. It's just, we're not allowed to broadcast a certain thing or certain...
Sometimes there's some kind of policy.
Yeah, some policy or another. And we just kind of look at this, okay, whatever it may be. So you're listening to, if you're on the audio portion, you're listening to poupée, meaning French word, doll.
Yeah. There's a famous doll like character in Brazil. There's Greek writer called what's his name? Man, I just blanked out. But he has this famous book,
Mhm.
basically Monteiro Lobato.
Yes, 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 you got it.
Monteiro
See, it was
Lobato.
just a second before you
Yes.
reached into your library
Yes.
of thinking.
Exactly. Monteiro Lobato has this beautiful character, which is a doll made of cloth, and that's
That's
what
right.
they
Yeah.
did.
And what made
movie.
you decide to use that one, that name for this?
The name, actually, what interesting was because of a girl.
Oh Lord, it's always
I
a
know.
girl.
I hope my wife is now hearing this.
Did you get that?
Yes.
You get him when he
Yeah,
gets.
the name of the doll is the name of the girl at the time. So I made and she was from France, so there was a connection with the doll. And
Does
the
she
name
know
of-
about this?
Yes.
This is the tea that I told you about. Up close and personal. It's coming out now.
I know, like the the spoils of war.
I like that. The
Like
spoils of war.
Yeah, like these names that influenced by the time that you live in, right?
Yes, and-
That's the point. I try to look at this way. This is always about my reaction to things, like the music comes out of my feelings and stuff,
That's
right?
right.
So it's not about this person or that person. It's just about how I felt at the time, and then how I translated that into music.
That's right.
And then I keep playing it.
And translating into music, if you've noticed, a lot of people who write music, such as, any of the people you hear that writes, especially the gal who, she's big and she's with the Kansas City Chiefs guy, she's always writing music about her breakups.
Oh, Swift, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, Taylor
Yeah, yeah.
Swift, and so it fits perfectly with what you're saying, what you're living at that time. But all her songs, the breakups were all hits.
There you go.
Because of the way you write it. And, you got more academia than she probably does. But then she
guess.
writes it in a certain way. But
It communicates, yeah.
your academia translated into the music portion.
I use the quote unquote academia to help convey the ideas, right?
Yes,
and,
that's
and
what
the
I say.
shape of a sound. But the main goal is always to reach people on a very deep personal level.
Yes.
A lot of people in the academia thing sometimes lose sight of that.
Of where
you
they're
know,
at
and,
with it.
and
Mhm.
a lot of people, never study music. They're self-taught, whatever. They just, compose these wonderful songs. They hit you like a rock,
And it's from internal spiritual connecting with that music. I think when the ones who don't read music or don't know what a fifth or don't know what a 11th, a ninth, or whatever they're putting together, and how the strings are supposed to come in a different portion of
Mhm.
that setup that's made for the orchestration. It's like
Yeah.
you got to know how to feel that.
But in the overall scheme of things, this should be not about the thing. It should be about what the idea is, what you want to convey, what kind of
Yes.
feelings you want to portray, and then reach people in a really.
Do you know how to do that? Like, get the orchestration, and you know how to make those strings come in, and you know how to, like, it's like more or less telling a song. Like, this is telling a song. Poupe is a story.
It is.
And the music is telling you the story, how to, and if you listen to it, it actually, you can feel the feelings, maybe of, it's coming out now, the tea's coming out. How he feels about
Yeah,
this
exactly.
past person,
Yeah. And basically also how I was at the time.
Yes.
I think also sometimes this composition, things like that, is almost like a time machine.
Yes.
That I'm able to access these memories. Like, oh, I remember exactly what I was doing at that time.
And what kind of music do you put behind, like let's say it was a loving time, or it was you're dancing and you remembered a specific component of your life, and how do you put that music around it? You know how to wrap it, and that's especially if we're doing orchestrating something and you put it together, and then you got to write it out, and then you got to erase some of it. Say, no, that didn't sound right. It went up, it went down, it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Let's make it go
You
ahead.
basically got to translate.
Put the
your
oboe in
idea.
there. I like the oboe
Yeah.
part.
You have to translate into other people so they can play and convey the right dynamics and everything else to get the sound you imagine, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
you now have the aid of so many people to make that sound come to life.
And as you say, the aid of so many people. Now, some of the people, sometimes, and we talked about this, especially in an orchestra, getting them to be on the same wavelength that you. Some of them, like we were talking, just are missing it because they're having something in their life that kind of changed the dynamic of the sax, let's say, and he just wasn't. And the next time he's doing this, like, whoa, you know this.
Yeah, the
Do they
environment.
do they look at you as the key to give it that?
Well, depends, right? Usually we have I'm fortunate to have a conductor, right? So I write the music,
Mhm.
but the music it's so like detailed that in order to still play my parts, the guitar parts, like I can't conduct a band and play.
That's
So I
right.
usually have a conductor, which
To
will
help
have
you.
to actually oversee the whole band and right.
Will you have one?
I will have one. Yeah, I
Oh,
had there and I will have one. Jonathan Bump is
Is he
gonna
pretty good?
conduct. Yeah, he's a trombone player.
Oh, Lord.
And he's gonna conduct the band. And yeah, basically, this thing you're talking about, you try to avoid as much as you can any kind of last minute interference from the outside
I like the way you say
yeah,
that.
by being precise in the notation
Yes.
and the intention that you want for that note or for that part. Right, so you take a lot of that out of the equation when
Yes.
you properly give the right information of what you want to be played.
Yes.
Right?
And so, like strings wise, now there's always the strings, especially if you go with you're doing your cellos or you're doing your violins.
The violas, yeah.
Yeah, and the violas. You know that sometimes those just don't quite catch it on some of them. How do you feel when you miss those parts?
Well, luckily you're playing with good ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's some really talented ones out there.
I mean, if you play with a mid-level string
Instead
player,
of the A-list.
String players are really dedicated people to their craft. They are really dedicated.
They
so
know how
they
to.
start early. They practice tons.
Yes.
So the general string player has a really great level of musicianship,
Yeah.
like reading. They're
Know
used
how
it.
to just read
Yeah.
that music and be
Yeah,
on every
they-
note,
that's exactly what they do.
every rest, everywhere they
Yes.
just know. Boom.
They do. They're trained for that, right? The jazz guy generally, usually
Gets lost somewhere.
lacks a bit of that, but also has his other universe, which is the creativity, the improvisation, the last minute.
The
thing.
improvisation is big for them. It's like they just like want to add that little piece in there for some reason. It's like,
Improvisation is a huge part of this music that I
Mhm.
do.
do you
and
do improvisation?
I
yourself?
do
Oh,
all
you
the
do. So
time.
you
Yeah,
just
right there.
get busy
Yeah.
on
You-
Pompeii.
There were solos there in that particular track. There's a I solo in the piece.
Oh, you do.
I do. There's a solo by me. There's a
So you're
sax-
listening to Popeye on this one. We're going to just let it roll for just maybe about 30, 10, 15 seconds because of this copyright issue
know.
that and I keep talking if you notice.
Yeah,
over
yeah.
it. That way they can't.
Exactly.
The guys like
They can
saying-
catch us. This ensemble, the Gabriel Santiago Orchestra stuff is within the tradition of the jazz orchestra, the big band as we call, right?
Mhm.
So in that tradition, there is a big portion, big space for improvisation, for solos and things like that.
And that's what you do.
A lot of that particular repertoire that I do is more wrapped up with long form through composed music. That in some songs I do have space for improvisation.
So you hand everybody their sheets that they need to, here's what I
Yeah.
want, and then
Is there a
you
script?
rehearse and you go over it several times and you clean up the areas that are kind of rough, right?
You rehearse when you're lucky.
Here's the music. You better be there and you better have it right.
If you're listening and watching this, just imagine the absolute insanity of managing 18 people's schedules and finding a right time and place to rehearse. Then you hand in the music and you get one shot.
Yeah, one shot to make it, and then you show up.
I had one rehearsal, a 3-hour rehearsal, and that's it.
Yeah, that's
You
all
know?
you need with A-list quality people.
That's why you got to enlist great people.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate enough and blessed to have great people playing with me. But for the audience also something to take in consideration as the time passes. It's becoming so hard to do this. It was
It's
never
true.
easy.
It's true of what
But
you're
it's-
doing. Your accomplishments
It's getting
take
increasingly
honor.
hard.
And I watch you and I see, because I interview quite a list of different types of people. And your style and your type is really crucial. Like we were talking about Rob Mullins,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
how he plays that piano.
Yeah, the hardship to make this music happen. There is a audience like that.
Yeah.
People, we're almost selling out Dazzle. So
Yes,
there are people who love the music, but gathering 18 musicians is such an ordeal because people are so busy.
Yes.
Like I just told you, I teach in 5 colleges.
And he's very busy. He was so busy, he was busy telling me I'm busy.
Exactly. So I'm a busy guy, but everyone else is busy as
And
well.
we're the same. You know, we're
Exactly.
both, and we're late at night, early in the morning. Yeah, it's good. Go. We both
Yeah.
know as professionals, we know what
Exactly.
to do here.
So people like musicians, especially, they have to play so many gigs and do all this and teach and stuff. It's hard for them to commit. I gotta go this amount of rehearsals, and I got this gig, and this gig is a Saturday night. Well, but Saturday night usually have a gig that pays better.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
they're always looking at. Yeah.
So it's such a chaotic equation to make all this come together.
It is.
There is a passion for the music in general, the interest in my particular music, and want to be part of it. You know,
Yes,
I
yes.
am self-funding the Zoe Enterprise,
Yes.
which is not an easy feat for 18 people, as you can imagine. Which was also part of my goal,
Right.
because I love the whole entrepreneurship aspect of
Right.
it. You know, I like that part a lot. In marketing, I studied that a lot, and having put out into this, you know, I try to get my hands on, you know, website design or funnel building or
All the different
paid
variations,
traffic
yes.
and everything to make this thing happen, to get people to the door and
Yes.
pay people
Yes.
fairly. So, and I still have to play guitar, play my part, and
Yes.
you know, smile, and that's, you know,
And
part
smile.
of part of it is coming here and chat with you, my friends.
And that's
tell
what's so
people.
fun, you know. It's because, you know, locally we're big in the community, huge, and so everybody wants to see who's he got on there. You
Yeah.
know, and so you've never been on our
Yeah, first time.
platform first time, but we want to always get you back, though. We go,
First of many.
That's right, first of many. That's what Rob does. And, you know, we started out, and he's got a lot of humorous side to him, and so we were at each other on the very first show,
Mhm.
and it was funny as heck, and just the way he talks and the way he comes across, and
He's a
we get
funny
along.
guy.
Yeah, he's been in Denver since I was around way back in the day, and he's been all over the place, and just like you, you've been all over the place yourself, and
Yeah.
some of the things you've seen, people you've come in contact with, and just you know, you're very personable. Well, you have to be like that if you're going to be in front of the students. There's always those students who are so hard-headed.
You have to develop that craft, right? I'll tell you. That got better with time.
Yeah.
I can now, you know, looking back, right?
Used to get so frustrated with some of that teaching and stuff.
And playing, my sort of demeanor
Yeah.
on stage was so different than it is today.
As when
You
you
know,
step
like-
on stage, you were this whole different.
Yeah, like I see these videos of me, whatever. I was like, I'm so kind of more relaxed.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I'm talking about, you know, 18, 19 years
Yeah.
old. I was, you know, practicing, you know, 8, 9, 10 hours a day,
Yeah.
and really into that
Yeah.
thing. So when I was performing, I was very kind of inwards and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
serious and
Yeah.
like looking at my guitar.
Now you're smiling and
Yeah,
enjoying.
and I had a good friend, a bass player, a great friend of mine, Andrea, bass player. We had this trip of 2 days playing Angra dos Reis, beautiful city near Rio, and he noticed that, and it's like, man, you need to smile more. You need to be more, you know. Remember, he said something that I forgot. He said, remember, like, people are coming here to see you on this thing. And like 99% of the people who are here sitting watching you play don't know anything about what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't know what like a major 7 chord, an
Yeah.
alto rever,
Yeah.
at that scale. They don't know that. You gotta communicate with them. And this music, which is already hard enough to the you know, the uninitiated,
Yeah,
if you
to
will.
decipher what you're actually doing.
So people latch on gestures,
And
on
the way
you're looking, the way you're interacting with the other
Yes.
musicians. People love that.
Yeah.
So once I figured that out, I finally stopped being inwards.
So you were throwing your guitar at the piano player.
I started being more outwards and
Yeah.
actually looking at the musicians and interacting. And that interaction, I was having fun. It's like people latch on that.
Yeah, they like
You
that.
know?
They get into it.
I had so many comments of people coming to me after shows. Man, I don't understand anything of this music, but you guys are having so much fun. You know, I love it. You know, it happened. So that's the thing. You look back and you know, you gotta make changes to the better of the music and communicating with the audience.
So if you're just patching in with us, you're listening to a beautiful individual that's here right now with me, and he's going to be doing a set with us, Mr. Gabriel Santiago. and he's got a name that is kind of big in Denver. Everybody goes to Santiago's. You hear that a lot, don't you?
I haven't heard that joke, but
Mhm.
it was bound to happen. Yeah. I did see that not long ago.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, Santiago. So I wonder no one actually made that connection.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you did.
I always do. And so don't forget, if you're just logging in, you're listening to KUHS Radio TV, and we are an international broadcaster. So if you can't pick us up in just a few countries, that's the country that they don't allow us to broadcast in. But 249 countries, and so you can pick us up anywhere on the planet, and it is just going crazy up here for you. And it's really neat.
Yeah,
It's
people
all
are
over the
logging
planet.
in.
Yeah, all over the planet. And
Yeah.
they enjoy this kind of interaction with the musicians that we have coming through Denver or are in Denver, and we have the talented Gabriel Santiago here today. And we're going to listen to him play his guitar if you'd like to do it now. And
Sure.
because we're at the end of the show, a little bit over, but that's okay. We can keep
Sure.
going. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I'll play a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do one or two songs. You just let me know what you want.
Okay.
And if you're watching or listening, what we're going to do, I'm going to patch myself out. We're going to patch into the backside here, and you'll be listening to Gabriel Santiago live here in the studio. It's going to be
There we
nice.
go.
So you're welcome to take your
Oh,
seat
thanks
there.
for
And I'm
having
going
me.
to patch way back in there, and I'm going to step out of the frame, and then you're welcome to set up, and we're set to go, my friend.
All right. Here we go.
And I'm going to put all 4 mics on to
Nice.
capture your audio, okay?
Great. Get it here. This off the room.
And move this up over here.
Set up here.
Right back in there. clear
Thank
and
you.
clean, and so I won't appear on that for a few seconds. But it's all part of it, but,
Yes.
we'll take a seat over here again,
All
and we'll
right.
just finish out our show.
Awesome. Let me put that here.
Audio wise, it came through very, very nice.
Nice.
So I'm gonna just turn down these mics and we'll keep
Glad
our
they
mics
worked.
going, you know?
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
so, that was well done, that was really
Thank
well
you, my
done.
friend.
Yeah, and so I can see how they're seeing it over on that side
Oh,
there
nice,
too.
nice, nice.
And so if they're on a big screen or they're putting it through their TV or whatever, it comes up just
Awesome.
like that, so.
Awesome.
Came out nice, that is really, really
Thank you.
solo like that, Jesus.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
I bet you could just, do you ever get, asked to play solo at some weddings or
I
events?
did that for a bit.
Oh, did you?
I did that for a bit in Texas and a little, not actually here in Colorado, but I did that a bit in Texas. I had kind of a encounter both worlds a few times, which is great. I had like fans of my music that asked me to play in their wedding, to play
Oh.
my music at the wedding,
Mm.
which was really, really, really. I don't even know how to describe. Like people who cared enough about my music asked me to play at their wedding and wanted to play my own music in their wedding, so that
Right.
the music meant something for them. So yeah, I played there for a little bit, but I do solo concerts.
Oh, you do?
Like yeah, I do. Yeah.
So if they ask you to come and do a solo concert at
Absolutely.
events, nightclubs, sometimes these jazz places?
Yeah, I do. I try to.
Do you have to go to New York or Los Angeles, any of these?
Yeah, I do solo concerts
Mhm.
quite a bit. I have an album of
Yes,
solo.
yeah.
I just recorded an album in Brazil in December, which is
Oh,
coming out in
nice.
the fall, which is a solo guitar album.
Oh.
Another one. I mean, at this point I kind of built a little, little stairs
Oh.
of music. Right, have a solo, have a duo, have a trio, quartet, quintet, jazz orchestra, symphony. So I kind of cover the whole spectrum. But I do play solo guitar a lot because another a shameless plug, right?
Yes.
I teach not only these places, but I have my own online Brazilian guitar school.
Nice.
That I call the Brazilian Guitar Institute.
And that takes a while to get that set up, so don't think this man has not been busy. I was
Very,
just
very
saying the other
busy.
day, looking at our website, I was filling out all this stuff, and man, just this alone took like hours and days.
Yes.
And to
yes.
do an online school even takes more.
It is. I have
Mhm.
students from all over the world.
Mhm.
I have students in, India, Ukraine, Switzerland, France, Portland,
That's right, yeah.
Texas,
Mhm.
Brazil. So I have a really great program for Brazilian guitar. So basically teach these things, and I have my own method of teaching that. So that's Brazilian Guitar Institute.
So how did you put your teaching together, your basis?
Comes from actually trying to answer questions that people have at me.
Yeah.
This whole Brazilian guitar thing, it's something that developed throughout the years, but always started with
Because there's other people teaching you, so you can kind of tell how they were teaching you and made your own up, right?
Yeah, I made my own, and basically, people come to me and say, "Hey, I love the way you play.
Yeah.
How can I play like
That
that?"
classical. Oh no, there's one question I ask everybody about their axe. Now,
Okay.
you brought this one here. This must be one of your favorites.
Yes, yes.
And do you
You
name
want me
your?
to show it?
Yes,
or-
yes, if you please.
Sure, let me
Mhm.
pick it up.
And let's talk about a little bit about it. And a lot of people name their axe.
I don't.
No, there's not.
No, some people do.
Yeah, a lot of people name it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I was.
Like
That's one of the questions that everybody. What did he name it?
I don't have a
Why,
name for
you know,
this
you know
guitar.
how people do that.
Yeah, they do. Because
But
I have.
this is not. This is a really nice looking guitar.
Yeah, this is a 7-string guitar, right? That's already unusual around here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Classical 7-string guitar, but it's a fairly common instrument in Brazil, where I come
Right.
from. It's used in a lot of samba and showing a bunch of styles, and I kind of took that under my wing and found my way in the instrument.
Mhm.
This is a particular guitar made by a luthier from São Paulo, a friend of mine. His name is Carlos Novaes, so he has a brand called Novaes Guitar. So he made that guitar for me, and then we started a signature line of my guitars with him.
So you actually have a signature line of the
I
guitars you
do.
could sell them to
Yeah, he
students
makes
and
them.
stuff. Oh,
But
so
he makes them, yeah.
But
I
it
gotta-
takes a while to make them. It's not because you have to cure the wood and stuff?
Yeah, it's not like a super quick thing,
Yeah.
but you can order. I want the signature Santiago
Yes.
thing, and then
And how do you sign them, or it's already pre-signed?
this one it's signed here. This one is a prototype, so I
Okay.
didn't bring the
Oh,
signature
yes.
one. I have 3 guitars with him. I have a 7-string,
Okay.
which is similar to this, but has a cutaway and things. There's my signature kind of in the 12th fret, and I have a.
What made you go to the 12th fret?
Because the 12th fret is kind of a standard
Spot where
place
you
in the
start,
guitar.
yeah.
You know, that's when you have those 2 dots.
Right.
You know, it kind of divides up
And so that's
the
where
octave.
you thought would be the best spot for yours.
Yeah, because I didn't want like signature on the instrument.
yeah,
It's kind of
just
weird. I just sang like here,
right across the
and
top.
he put like a mother pearl thing, so it was like really cool.
Sharp, yeah.
And yeah, so I have that 7-string with him, and I also have a baritone classical,
Oh, do you really?
which is a larger body and neck. You know, it's a little lower sound. Is also signature, and then he made an 8-string signature guitar.
Wow.
So I do play 8-string. This album I brought you a
This
solo.
one here. So this
Yeah.
is the one album I got from.
This is one of my albums. This is a solo album, right? That's called Momentum. And if you can see in the back, I'm playing the 8-string guitar. That's the Novi signature 8-string. I play on the record a lot of the instrument, which is a beast. It's an interesting instrument. It has the 7-string has an extra lower string.
Yes.
And the 8-string has another lower string.
Whoa.
So you have a thicker neck.
So you can give it that much deeper sound for the.
Super, yes. Yeah. And for solo guitar,
that really sounds
I can kind of cover a lot of frequencies.
Yeah, it's calling like a deep breath of that guitar to generate into people's ears, and they feel it.
They do.
Have you ever played in Hawaii?
I never been to Hawaii, but it's been on my bucket list.
That's what I was wondering, because it just seems like this would go well out in a concert inside the volcano.
So. Oh yeah, I have a good friend of mine, Jose, Brazilian, a friend and former student of mine, who retired and he moved to Hawaii. So,
wow.
Hi, Jose.
Yeah. And there's a singer that used to have a show here. She's out in Hawaii too, and she always has shows. She does a lot of jazz shows,
nice.
tribute shows. If you're listening to us, Miss, don't forget, he's right here.
Yeah, I want to go to Hawaii.
Show Renee, he's just sitting right here.
It's definitely in my bucket list. You know, it's such a wonderful place, and I would love to play there.
It's been real having you here. I mean, an hour flew by. We got 7 minutes. I'm gonna keep. I know.
Wow, it flew by.
An hour flew
okay.
by. And of course, we give you the hour. I always say we're going to end the show, but it's an hour. That's so quick. But of what you brought, the 2 songs you played, and I listened to it audio-wise over the radio portion. Oh, clear, crystal clear. Also on the TV portion, crystal clear. It came out nice.
Nice.
That's how you see us out there. If they see you, that's how they see us.
Good.
And the clarity is there.
Yes, yes.
High def, and so we always broadcast in high definition all around the planet. We don't have no static. We do go through 4 satellite systems.
Wow.
It's wild. This place is.
Yeah, it's kicking, man.
It's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and I'll show you around more after we're
I
done.
totally want to. Yeah, I want to see
And
it.
don't forget, let's do our plugs if you want. Do a few more if you want to
Yeah.
tell you where you get his albums.
Yes. Well, you can find everything about myself at my webpage, which is GabrielSantiagoProject.com. You have everything there on my discography. You can buy the records, the scores. We have access to my social media. I'm on Instagram at Gabriel Santiago, and Facebook. You can find me. If you type my name on Google, you'll be there. If you are interested in learning this stuff that I do also, I have the Brazilian Guitar Institute. So if you go to BrazilianGuitarInstitute.com, you'll be able to have information about it. You can book a call with me because it's a mentorship program, so I need to talk to you on Zoom and interview you to teach. But yeah, you can find me all those places. I'm always around. I'm on social media. And another plug is we have a concert at Dazzle this Saturday. That's the Gabriel Santiago Orchestra you see in the background. We're playing a concert at 6:30 p.m. at Dazzle. It's almost sold out, so if you're planning to come, get your last tickets there. And we play all my original music for jazz orchestra. There's like 18 people on stage, so there's gonna be a blast. And hopefully I'll see you there. And it's a pleasure to be here.
And with that being said, we're going to say goodbye for now. You can catch this full show if you missed it on all our pages. We're on 22 pages. The number one page would be KUHS Radio TV, KUHS Friends, KUH Mile High Promotions. There's a bunch of pages that we carry this. We carry it on YouTube. We also carry it on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. No, we're no longer on TikTok. They threw us off for 30 days.
What a shame.
Damn it. We don't care.
You're in enough places.
I know we're all over the place,
Yeah.
so it's really nice. So, with that being said, don't forget to catch the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Gabriel Santiago. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you, my
here.
friend. What a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you for watching this, and I'll see you soon.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play. Let me keep this going.
Can you play another one instead of that?
Okay.
Can you play Northeast Impressions?
Northeast Impressions. Okay.
The first one. The 202. Yeah. Yeah, that one.
Caught it just in time. Can I play those two together? Well, I can't play this 18, 16. I may have to cut one short.
Sure.
I can,
Yeah, play
can I-
this one, and then the other one is fine.
Okay.